Here we are again with the Pipey's kilt. I'm a little bit behind schedule because as we're leading up to Remembrance Day, I had a number of people pop in at the last moment with emergency, oh my god, I need it tomorrow kind of repairs. So I've progressed a little bit, as you can see, because we'd had that pulling on one side. I'd inserted a piece of canvas into the fold, another piece of canvas grafted on to the main piece, and this is taken from my wooden boat building experience, that a scarf of this length is as strong as one uninterrupted piece of cloth, and this is a stronger piece of cloth. It's less stretchy than this older stuff. I've patched that hole, a basic sailmaker's patch, and we can't see it on the other side because I've already sewn up the pleat, but it's backed with a matching piece and a stronger piece of tartan from Dalgleish Mill, which is a hard tartan, much stronger than the rest of this stuff, and sewn with silk thread. So on the other side it's a very nearly invisible repair, but because it's inside the apron pleat, it's not visible. And that style of repair is, I'm confident about its strength because I've done it many times. So from here, the situation I'm facing is the outside apron. I've let it out to fit with a new A-line, but the problem is that I face, and I stopped yesterday because I had to come up with a night to figure out how I'm going to solve this problem, is that the fold back isn't nearly long enough to fold under. So what I've done, I've decided, is I have a matching piece of cloth, or almost matching piece of cloth. And here's something that's interesting. The difference in scale between Seaforth cloth of different contracts. It's all slightly different. This stuff on the end here is so big that I privately wonder if it's actually Highland Light Infantry. But no matter, in any case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm doing this one-handed. I'm going to fold this in half. I'm going to tuck this inner edge under the turnover, dress it off, and then I'm going to bring the outer edge over, and I'm going to fray this outer edge, maybe one more yarn I'll take out of that so it's a feathered edge. And then with that in place, I'm going to, hold on, pardon me as I whip the camera around just so I can get this in place because I needed my two hands, so that on the inner face of the apron, this is going to be a very fine overcast stitch with silk thread, with black silk thread, done as fine as I can. It won't be an invisible repair, but it'll be a professional and a neat repair. And again, it's out of sight, it's next to the soldier's skin, so it's not it's not visible. But this will give us the added weight on the outside apron. It doesn't quite cover the spot, the correct spot for the kilt pin, and we can see the erosion from the kilt pin. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to take a small piece of this same sort of canvas in a square, and then a matching piece of tartan over top of it, and then do again, overcast stitch around it with the stitches aligned with the grain of the material, so that from the outside the stitches will be as near as damn it invisible against the grain of the cloth. And that will give an extra bit of support for the kilt pin, because this cloth has shown that a single width of cloth won't support the weight of the kilt pin, and it sags and it drags and it produces these holes we've seen here. He's been very careful, but we still have the erosion. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to get all that done, then I'm going to give it its first press, and then tomorrow, once it's dried, on goes the top band, in goes the lining, and I can give him a call so he can collect his kilt in time for his Remembrance Day gig. There we go. Bye.